Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Thursday, November 27, 2025. The Bank of Jamaica is assuring the country that it has an adequate supply of local currency to meet the increased demand for cash transactions amid ongoing post-Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts. BOJ Governor Richard Bowles says maintaining financial stability remains a top priority for the central bank.
Immediately following the hurricane, Bank of Jamaica activated our business continuity arrangements to ensure that the commercial banks had access to the currency they need. To date, post-hurricane, the bank has facilitated emergency cash orders from the commercial banks totaling $3.9 billion and is waiving all penalties for these orders to December 31, 2025.
Mr. Bowles says the BOJ has also been working closely with banks on the reopening of branches and the resumption of ATM services, particularly in the parishes hardest hit by the hurricane. Banking customers using electronic channels are also benefiting from temporary relief measures.
To make it easier for Jamaicans to do financial transactions electronically and support vital relief efforts in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, BOJ has waived transaction fees associated with all customer payment transactions from November 3rd to December 31st, 2025.
Government will be launching the previously announced national cleanup exercise next week, beginning in Westmoreland. Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie says the cleanup exercise will focus first on the 16 constituencies most severely affected.
I want to make the point that we might not be able to accomplish all that we want in that period, but the necessary arrangements are in place if we have to go beyond.
On Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness revealed in Parliament that $10 million would be allocated to each constituency as part of the National Cleanup Program. Of that amount, $5 million is being used for debushing, $3 million for debris and waste removal, and $2 million for the cleaning of drains and waterways, as well as vector control activities. $150,000 will also be allocated to councillors in all constituencies.
This investment is not only routine seasonal maintenance, it will neatly dovetail into a broader program of cleaning and debris management. Additional funding will be provided to the 16 most affected constituencies across Westmoreland, 3 constituencies, Hanover, 2 constituencies, St. James, 5 constituencies, Trelawney, 2 constituencies, and St. Elizabeth, 4 constituencies.
The cleanup program is expected to employ between 100 and 200 persons in each constituency, with the Social Development Commission, SDC, responsible for overseeing the recruitment, training, and organization of work teams. The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, will coordinate operational planning and work schedules, and support is to be provided by other key government institutions.
Our aim is to ensure that all workers are properly documented, are supported to open a bank account where needed, and receive basic training in the safe handling and disposal of debris and waste. This is part of a wider effort to formalize labor, strengthen social protection, and uphold decent work principles even during an emergency.
The initial operations are projected for 2 to 4 fortnights, after which the process will be assessed and interventions expanded as required. The Prime Minister emphasizes that while the government is providing resources, equipment, and coordination, the success of the national cleanup effort ultimately depends on full participation of citizens. Meanwhile, government is identifying additional temporary disposal sites and pursuing recycling and circular economic solutions to manage debris and waste incurred from Hurricane Melissa. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says this will include using wood chippers to process vegetative waste into mulch and compost. Establishing structured scrap metal recovery is also being considered, as well as reclaiming reusable construction materials and partnering with the private firms to pilot community-level material sorting.
These measures are essential to build long-term resilience in waste and debris management. We have also begun securing additional trucks, compactors, bulldozers, and heavy equipment including through pledged international support.
Government has earmarked $40 million to revive backyard chicken operations after more than 1.1 million birds were lost during Hurricane Melissa. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green reveals that the losses include 458,000 layers and over 700,000 broilers, far exceeding the roughly 300,000 chickens lost during Hurricane Beryl in 2024. To help small farmers, who account for 35% of Jamaica's broiler industry, he says the ministry will purchase 100,000 broiler chickens for backyard producers.
We're not just doing broilers. We're doing chicken, we're doing feed, but importantly, we're going to do an infrastructure component. We're going to help you build back your chicken coop. Right? Because it don't make sense we give you and you don't have anywhere to put it. That is just the broiler program. We're also going to do a project around layers, because as much as I've spoken about broiler, our biggest loss has been in terms of percentage our egg production.
Minister Green was speaking during a recent farmers' meeting in Guys Hill, St. Catherine, where farmers received fertilizers, Irish potato seeds, and vegetable seeds. The Education Ministry, in tandem with the National Education Trust, has started work on 3 of the schools most severely damaged by the hurricane. They are Monroe, Hampton, and St. Elizabeth Technical High School. Portfolio Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon gave the update on Wednesday as she reported that Cabinet had given approval for funding to carry out repairs at the worst affected schools. She said the ministry was prioritizing high schools and those with boarding facilities. The Education Minister also announced that new roofing standards were being established to strengthen the resilience of the education sector.
As we rebuild our schools, we're very serious about resilience. And so we have new roofing standards for schools, and all the work that will be done has to be done using those specifications, and we will be examining the work.
Minister Morris-Dixon was addressing a press briefing at Jamaica House. Still on education, the ministry has activated its Host School initiative to ensure learning continues for students whose schools were severely damaged and remain closed. The temporary arrangement allows students from non-operational schools to attend classes at another institution. In a statement to the Senate last Friday, Portfolio Minister Senator Dana Morris-Dixon stressed that the initiative should not be mistaken for a transfer.
This is a temporary arrangement where a student from a non-operational school continues learning in another institution for a defined period of time. Students, nevertheless, remain anchored to their home institution.
Dr. Morris-Dixon said this was among several modalities being adopted to ensure learning continues.
Mr. President, use of these many models that we have, which is full day or part day, will be complemented using other remote strategies that we have. Sometimes we'll have to print kits and take them out to the children in their communities, and where possible we are going to be broadcasting on radio for students, but obviously that can only move forward when there's electricity in the area. So the modality that will be chosen will depend on the level of connectivity and supporting infrastructure available to teachers and students.
And finally, the National Water Commission, NWC, is clarifying that recent media reports of sewage overflows in the vicinity of Coronation Market are incorrect. Following the reports, the NWC says its technical teams conducted thorough inspections at the referenced locations, namely the intersections of Rose Lane, Spanish Town Road, and Oxford Street. The investigations reportedly confirm that the overflow observed in the area is a result of blocked drainage infrastructure, which is not part of the NWC's sewage network. Those affected drains typically convey grey water, which can become stagnant once flow is impeded. The NWC is also confirming that its sewage conveyance pipelines and the nearby pumping station have experienced no operational issues since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. All NWC wastewater systems in the area remain stable and fully functional. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.